Morning guys, Uncle T Boxing here. Seasons beatings. So this is going to be my first time talking about fights happening during the week. Could start from like what happened yesterday. Pound for pound start, top 3, top 4. It was an 8-round finish to retain his WBA IBF in Japan. Not many people know about the fact, apart from people from Japan or like hardcore boxing fans or Inoue fans. I mean, since he signed with Top Rank, I don't know, it's just the way they've been promoting him, it's been dreadful. They promote Nicola Ali, Ali's grandson, who doesn't look anything like Ali. They promote him more than they promote a pound for pound star, so it's quite weird. And I thought Top Rank has got a deal with Sky, so I was expecting to see that on my Sky channel, but that didn't happen. But anyway, that was yesterday. We've got to talk about all the fights now. There's fights on Friday and then there's fights on Saturday. Well, there's 2 fights on Friday. So this video is mainly going to be talking more about the 2 fights on Friday. Then maybe a couple of hours after that, after I upload this video, we'll talk about the Saturday fights. There's more fights on Saturday. There's one fight in Uzbekistan. It's going to be broadcast here on DAZN. The second one is going to be in Montreal, Canada, which is going to be broadcast by Sky Sports. So 2 fights I'll be looking for, 2 cards I'll be looking forward to see something, to see what's going on. So without further ado, I mean, the Uzbek fighters, I mean, they're quite much tough because obviously there's no like upside to them. There's no money in them. Not many people know them. You know, they haven't got like a large fan base. So some of them get match toughed, and that's no different in the main event. Israil Madrimov, you know, he's 7-0, and he's fighting a guy from France, Michel Soro. He's had 38 fights, 35 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. That's a big gap in experience. I know he's had like an extensive amateur career, which a lot of Uzbek fighters do, but even still, I mean, we've seen some Uzbek or Kazakhstan fighters this year lose because they've been matched too tough, you know. But and one of them is fighting in this card, the Bully, which I'm going to go down to. It is going to be the second fight I'm going to talk about. But let's stick with Israil Madrimov fighting a guy called Michel Soro. And the last time he lost was about 4 years ago against Browne Castaño, no less. If you remember what happened this year, Browne Castaño was the Argentina guy that fought Michel, and I thought he won that fight for the unification. So if things were fair, Browne Castaño would be the undisputed super welterweight champion. But because of politics, because of the A side, because there's more money with Michel and his promotions, Lions Only Promotions, they gave him the benefit of the doubt, and the fight was ended up in a draw. If that was based in Argentina, definitely Browne Castaño would have won that fight. But this Michel Soro guy's lost to a guy who should have been the undisputed champion, super welterweight, and he lost that fight on a split decision. So that shows the sort of level this Israil Madrimov is fighting, headline in DAZN. So, I mean, if he does win that fight, then really and truly he has to be a force to be reckoned with. He should be looking into getting award titles in a couple of fights, if not next after that. It's mad to think about that in about 8 or 9 fights. So we see how that goes in Uzbek. See what Michel brings. If he's got any ambitions like I had when he fought against Castaño, we shall see. I mean, when did Michel last fight? He fought 2019. 2 year 2 year gap. He hasn't fought in 2 years. So the ring rust might. His last two performances were 2 KO, albeit it was 2 years ago. So we see if the ring rust is going to have a impact in this performance against Madrimov. So I look forward to seeing how that fight goes. The next fight I want to talk about is Beck the Bully. He was 7-0 till his last fight. 7-1. He lost to that fight, which could be like against Rosado, which could be knockout of the year. Contenders, definitely knockout of the year contender. When Beck the Bully was winning that fight, he was winning the fight, but he fought against an experienced guy who, when he was about to get finished, Rosado, he timed him. He timed him with a pitch of a right hand, and Beck the Bully just walked into it. He walked into it with arrogance, trying to finish Rosado with his hands down, trying to go for body shots with his hands down, and he got timed with a right hand. So it's good for him to. It's good to see Beck Bully back against a guy from Russia, Sergey Ekimov, 18-3. So he's got a winning record, but that's a bit misleading because he's lost 3 fights, and his last 3 fights is where he's got that L. So he's lost his last 3 fights. So you would think Beck the Bully should get past this fight. One would think they've just matching him. This is the right matchup to come back to just get his confidence back. We see if that knockout he received against Rosado would have an effect. And last but not least, Shakram Gayasov, super lightweight or light welter, however you wanna call it. 11-0. I think it's about. I can't remember how many knockouts now. He says here. I think it's about 9 knockouts or something. But I would put his boss rec thing as you can see it there. But I can't see it right now. But you could see it. 11-0. I like Gayasov because of his amateur record. He was a 2017 world champion. He fought in the Olympics as well, 2016, but he won the 2017, and he on his way to winning that to winning that, he fought 2 guys who made it to the finals of Tokyo, and that was Pat McCormack and the Cuban Ronel Iglesias. He fought both of them and he won, and those are 2 main guys, and now he's fighting that light welter. He's got a good pedigree. He tried to come back again in 2021 not in the Olympics, 2021 in the World Championships, and he got his head boxed off. Maybe because he's just got used to the pro setup. It's not as fast as it used to be or something, and it's just 3 rounds. As we know, pro and amateurs is just 2 different sort of game. But yeah, he's fighting a guy from Argentina called Christian. It's a fight I feel he should win because I don't know how much Christian's going to have in this. He's 39 years of age, So what was a 39-year-old going to do against a pedigree fighter like Gayasov? So we see how that goes. So that's some couple of interesting cards from Uzbekistan. A lot of talent there. So we see how that goes. There's a couple of other fighters in there. There's a 3-0 slight flyweight called Assam Boy. We see how it goes. 3-0. There's not much to talk about. He's not fighting he's not in a solid fight yet. Probably would be in his 7th or 8th. That seems to be like the routine that we keep getting from the Uzbek, But yeah, we'll see. Now, let's move on to Canada, shall we? Montreal. There's only one fight I'm going to talk about. It's he should be on the pound for pound, really, but he's not because he hasn't had that many fights. Arthur Beterbiev, 16-0, 16 knockout, 5-star general. 16 KO, so he's got 100% knockout ratio. His last fight was against a guy called Adam Deniz. He fought like in March this year, 2021, and I wasn't really impressed in this performance because I'm trying to gauge him because he might be a potential fighter for Canelo. So you've got to gauge this guy at a very high standard for a guy to see how good he might be against Canelo, who's arguably some pound for pound number 1, 2, however you want, or 3, if you want to be, if you want to add Terence Crawford or Usyk above him, or Inoue. But yeah, Artur Beterbiev, sorry about it, might be butchering his name, might have been suffering from ring rust, which is a thing. Because before that fight this year, the last time he fought was like 2019 when he actually unified the title against Vozvik, the Ukraine guy. And I like I say, let me apologize if I'm not pronouncing these guys properly, but yeah, Vozvik from Ukraine, he unified him, he stopped him. He won the the WBC and the IBF to win. I think he had the IBF at that time, and he took the WBC strap against from. So, and after that, it's been 2 years since he last fought. So hopefully that Adam Deniz, the guy he fought, was like to shake off the ring rust, and we'll obviously see a better Beterbiev, and he's going to be fighting an American Olympian, Marcus Browne, 24-1. He's got one loss, but that loss was against John Pascal, who is a good name, a solid light heavyweight contender. But as now the development as we know now against John Pascal is because he failed a drug test. He had all sorts of PEDs in his system. It's high possible chance that John Pascal was like drugged up to the eyeballs when he fought Marcus Browne. So we might have to take that loss as a maybe he fought a guy who cheated. So that one loss, an Olympian, is a solid solid fighter. And before that, I was quite surprised he lost that fight because before he lost to John Pascal, Marcus Browne, he be a solid fighter in Badu Jack. So that shows the quality. So I was quite surprised that he lost against John Pascal. And now we know that he could have been drugged up. And how old is Beterbiev now? He's like 36. So age will be catching up to him. He had an extensive career, amateur career as well. So the wears and tears. He's not had many wars in the pros, but running a training camp and all that could take a toll on your body. Ring rust, age. So it should be an interesting fight. I would have Beterbiev as the favourite, but don't be surprised if Marcus Browne just pulls an upset. So that's how I see this fight going. So two main interesting cards, and we see how the fights go. There's other fights in the following day to talk about. There's a fight in Newcastle, Probellum. They're coming in. Derek Chisora against Joseph Parker 2, no less. And a few others, which I'm going to be talking about after this video. So look out for that. I'll be posting that in a couple of hours after this. And thanks for your patience. And I hope you like my content. And if you do, don't forget to subscribe, share. There's a new guy in town, Uncle T Boxing. And you give me more love, you share more, you give me more views, and I'll be doing more of this and more predictions and on a weekly basis next year. Okay, so thanks for your time, and hope you enjoyed it. Uncle T signing out.